Should've saved me some.
Hello, my friends. How you doing today? I am doing well. Well, it's another hot day. Another hot day, and I just got out of work. Yes. So I was gonna make a quick video today, but then I was like, you know what? Maybe this should be one of those more longer, relaxing conversation videos, which I do have items that I have no idea what they are. Two of them dropped off on my porch today. Make sure they're both for me. One coming from Deep Discount and one coming from Southern Fried Media from Helen GA. Well, anyway, topic of conversation. If you've been watching this channel for a while now, I have been using this as a it's the word I'm looking for. It's a proper word. A soapbox? No. A place to vent. A place for me to release my like a diary of sorts. Yes, this isn't just about opening up media and toys and talking about my life. And this is what I'm leaving behind. Okay, I realized this the other day. I was watching actually a sermon on YouTube, and a friend of mine who has passed away not too long ago. He went walking across the camera, using the camera frame, and it hit me. It hit me for the first time that, you know, when we go, we only leave behind a certain amount of things. Like we leave behind things to remember. Okay, people will remember us for who we are and what we did, and this channel will be my diary to my children. Hopefully they go right back to the beginning, and my grandkids and my great-grandkids and my great-great-grandkids all go back to the beginning again and realize that I was a mess. Okay, I was a mess, and maybe people can learn from the fact that I was a mess. Now, if you've been watching this for a while, there's no secrets. I don't keep secrets from anybody. Okay, I have major issues. Okay, I have major anxiety issues. I got bipolar disorder problems. I got depression. I got all kinds of stuff going on in my head. What keeps me going? What keeps me going every day? What keeps me going is actually kind of my job, the teaching at the preschool and keeping busy with that, and collecting movies and collecting toys, and my hobbies and my family, you know, which I gotta say, recently I would say that the family is kind of exists of just my wife. Okay, we went from when you first meet your significant other, there's a ritual that you have to go through, a dating ritual that you go through, and then after a while you maybe get married and have a kid, or you go in a reverse effect where you actually have a kid and then you get married, or whatever you do. I'm not judging anybody and how they do things, because I went in the reverse way. I had a kid first, then we got married. But 4 kids later, we're still married, and we've been together for quite a while now. But what I'm starting to realize is that I've been seeing a lot of posts lately, and this is something that I think that a lot of people struggle with, and I wanted to kind of help you along with it and maybe make a little light of the situation that I'm in my life. And the deal is that I've been seeing a lot of posts that say along the lines of you can have people in your life, but sometimes you need to just love people from afar, or keep, you know, don't hate anybody, but there's just certain people in your life that you just need to keep away from you, you know, to that nature. Okay, which made me think about my family, my life, my children, my mother, my father, my upbringing, the way that my life's been. And I gotta tell you, I'm sitting back here right now because, you know, just recently, well, not just recently. Whenever I say just recently, you might as well think about 2 or 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Okay, whenever I say just recently, literally, if I say just recently, it could be 10 years ago. Okay, I have no concept of time whatsoever. But let's say recently was Father's Day. Okay, and my mother had sent me. I guess she has. I do not know. Okay, has sent me a message on my Facebook. Okay, now the deal is that I have a Facebook for my melting movies. Okay, and I have a Facebook for the stuff that I do at the preschool. I'm 3 separate people. Okay, I'm the person here that you see in front of this camera, and I'm a person that you see when I'm out on the street or whatever, and then I'm the person that takes care of children all day. So I got to keep the personalities separated, okay? Because This guy, the one that speaks to you in front of the camera, would not make a good preschool teacher. Okay, he'd probably make a terrible preschool teacher. Okay, the things that would come out of my mouth and the thought process that goes on in my head, I would have to say that the melting movie part of me is the dark side. Okay, this is I guess the dark side of me or whatever. This is the honest side. This is the part that people don't want to hear. You done messed up. Okay, you might want to hear it, but my family sure as hell don't want to hear it. You might want to hear it, but friends don't want to hear it. And listen, it's just not a thing where they want to hear it because there's a lot of conviction. A lot of conviction. If you don't understand what that means, some people say, oh, when I throw out the word "you're being convicted," means I'm saying something on my channel that might set you off or trigger you to look at yourself and evaluate yourself and say, hey, listen, I made a mistake. I made some mistakes in my life, and I need to reevaluate myself, and I need to fix those mistakes, or I'm happy with the way things are, and I'm just gonna push on with my life. So with Father's Day just passing, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever. 2 months ago, 3 months ago, probably 3 months ago. Anyway, with Father's Day just passing, I guess my mother sent me a message to my regular Real Me Facebook page. Well, I don't read that ever because I don't think I've been the real me in 10, 15 years, and I don't think I'm going too far back on that one. I've kind of grown in different aspects of my life. I'm now doing a channel where I got over 13,000 people and 250,000 views, and people are following me, and they're communicating with me, and I'm enjoying this. And then I have my teacher part of it where I'm constantly going back and forth with the parents, and and I'm helping them with situations because I'm dealing with a lot of young parents with young kids, and they're still trying to hammer it out. And being the fact that I'm kind of a old school, 4 kids, my youngest one being 19, my oldest one being 26, 25, 26, something like that. Yeah, I've taken care of children for a lot of years of my life. And so I would consider myself an expert. I would consider myself an expert on childcare. Okay, my wife worked days, I worked nights. I came home, took care of my children. I fed them, I changed them, I bathed them, I took care of them. My wife would come home, we tap out, I guess 2 hours sleep, I go to work, I come home the next day, and I do the same thing the next day. So my mother sends this message to me, I guess, and I haven't read it yet because in order for me to read it, I have to actually log out of one account to get into another account, and I don't do that. I mostly stay on my 2 accounts. I don't go to my original account, hardly ever. And I will tell you a reason for that. My original account brings triggers to me. Those are where all my family are. Those are where all the people are that I don't want to see and talk to or communicate with or have like this. Is not all the family. Let's make that very clear. I got aunts and uncles that I talk very highly about, and they're great people and everything. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. It's just there's some people post things that just trigger. Okay, if you're struggling with a lot of insecurities and bipolar and depression and everything, and anxiety, there's things that just trigger you, and I don't want to read messages from my immediate family that's not living in this house. You know what I mean? I haven't talked to my father, and this is actually the truth right here because this is a number that I remember because my son was about a year old when the last time I spoke to my father. So we're talking like almost 18 years I have not spoke to my father. I mean, I literally haven't even seen him. My wife and my kids, they go on his Facebook and they're like, oh, well, your dad's getting old. Do you want to see? No, I don't want to see. And that's where I'm going with the love-hate thing. This is where I'm going with that. Listen, I don't hate anybody. Let me make that very clear. Now my mother seems to think that I hate her. Okay, my father probably thinks that I hate him, and there's probably a lot of other people in this world that they think that think that I hate them. But personally, I don't hate anybody. My father, the fight we had together was 18 years ago. I'm over and done with it. Now, going back to that little post there that people like to post there, it's like sometimes you got to keep people out of your life, for your own sanity, and sometimes you got to keep people out of your life just to better yourself. Some people you can love, but you got to love them from afar. That's how I live my life, okay? I don't hate you. I love you. I got love for you, but it's better you stay away from me. Now, because either I'm going to hurt you or you're going to hurt me. That's what's going to happen. And I'm kind of done with the hurt. Okay, the bottom line, I'm done. I got family members that they have miraculously created this alternate universe. I mean, I'm living in like the Marvel universe of my life, okay? There is an alternate universe that only exists in my mother and my father's head, probably. It's stuff that is totally untrue, stuff that never happened in a million years, but they believe it. Now I haven't talked to my father so much, but my mother, it's like on her side of the family, you know what I mean? There's been yeah, you know, it's my grandfather and my mother. Not so much my grandma. My grandmother was a very, very straight shooter. Like, she was like a lot like me. Like, she was like, she told you how it was. She didn't like you, she told you she didn't like you. If she had a problem with you, she would probably knock you out. That's the way she was. She was just a tough little Portuguese woman that didn't take crap from nobody. And I think I got a lot of my honesty from her, because she was very honest. She was very bluntly honest, and a lot of people can't deal with that. A lot of people can't deal with honesty. They would rather create this fictional world of happiness and joy and think that everything was happy and roses and candy and bubble gum, and we were going on bike rides together, and we were skipping and sprinting through the park. But that's not the truth. The truth is I was abandoned. Okay, I was abandoned by my mother. Okay, my father and mother fought all the time. They fought all the time. Okay, I could not remember a day in my life when I lived at home with these people that they did not argue and fight, throw things across the room. He's throwing things, she's screaming, she's crying, he's yelling, he's breaking things, he's yelling at me, he's throwing things at me, listen, it was a flipping nightmare. Okay, it was a nightmare. But for some reason, I guess I'm not supposed to recall all of the bad things. I'm supposed to dig deep and think about Christmas morning when I opened up my first set of Kiss figures and I was so happy or whatever. But I'm supposed to forget about the 3 days later when my father's like, I'm broke. Okay, Christmas just passed and I'm broke, and it's all your fault because I bought you a bike, and it's all your fault because I bought you this, and it's all your fault. And I'm like, didn't Santa Claus give me those things? You know, I'm like 9, Dad. I'm like 8, 7, whatever. You know, I'm 7, 8, whatever age, I'm still believing in Santa Claus. Isn't it not right for you to be yelling at me and telling me his thing? And I started using this with my kids because I thought this was a thing. I had to be told otherwise. My father used to tell me I used to have to pay Santa Claus. He's like, listen, the reason why you get all these gifts is because I pay Santa Claus. He just delivers them. So Santa Claus is like Amazon. Okay, that all my life, my childhood, I believed that Santa Claus was like Amazon. My father placed the orders. Okay, if I was good, he would tell Santa Claus what I wanted, and then he placed the orders, and then whatever arrived at the house was what my father could afford to pay for, working whatever he worked. And it was just, that's a terrible thing to tell a child. It's a terrible way to raise a child at like a young age, at like being like 6, 7 years old or whatever, and telling them that you have to pay Santa Claus in order for me to get the gifts for Christmas. So you better behave, or else I'm going to tell Santa Claus that you haven't behaved, and I'm not going to give him the money, he's not going to come deliver it. Listen, it was a mess.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
It was a mess. So the deal is I just feel personally that my mother's consumed with guilt. Consumed with guilt. That's what I gotta say. Consumed with guilt and fictionally believing things that just ain't true. Not totally never happened. Totally not true. I mean, I wrote a whole book. In fact, I wrote 2 books, okay, on my life. Very fresh, very vivid. One of them was published as a kid's book. The other one, I never published. I'm still working on it because my life is not over yet. I don't know how my life is going to end, but it gets very graphic, okay, very, very graphic from molestation to abuse to physical abuse to mental abuse to listen, it's a bad situation, and I've had to live through it. But for some reason, I'm supposed to just shut my eyes and be happy and put on a big show and be like, yeah, mother and father of the year. Mother and father of the year. Listen, my exact quote to everybody I've ever talked to, every counselor, every psychiatrist, every person I've ever spoke to is, I took the handbook that my mother and father wrote, and I did with my kids the complete opposite. And that's what I do with my preschoolers. That's what I do with any children. I do the complete opposite of how I was raised. And that's been working great for me. Parents love me, okay? My kids sometimes love me. I mean, when I tell them they got to clean their room and stuff like that, they don't love me so much. But it's only right. It's only right. I mean, I've yet to go like my father, if I didn't do the dishes one day, go in the kitchen and take dishes full of spaghetti and dishes full of just sauce and filth and dirt and disgusting dishes and just throw them on their bed, you know what I mean? And then wait for them to come home from school and be like, because you didn't do the dishes, now you can go get that all off your bed. And then have to clean, not only get the dishes off my bed and clean the dishes, but then have to figure out how to clean the spaghetti sauce and the grease from fried chips or whatever off the bed. My bed literally, to the day I moved out of my house, had a terrible smell. It almost smelled like vomit. Because the smell of like old tomato sauce has this very, very sour smell. And I tried to clean it with Pine Sol. I was younger, so I'm using Pine Sol and I'm trying to clean this stink off the bed. So until the day I moved out of the house, my bed stunk. It stunk like Pine Sol and that sour smelling rotten tomato sauce smell. That I know you all know what I'm talking about. I know that you smelt some bad tomato sauce. You left something in the fridge too long. Maybe you left some pasta in the fridge too long. Or you opened up that bottle of tomato sauce and you put it in the fridge and then you forgot all about it. Or maybe you just left something on the counter. I know you know the smell. And if you don't know the smell, you should smell it because I can't get it out of my head. Every time I smell it to this day, all I think about is my bedroom and how I had to sleep. I mean, I put a sheet over this. I actually had to put a towel on my bed. And then put a sheet over like a fitted sheet over the towel so that it just would not, I could not get rid of that smell. And if that wasn't punishment enough, it's like all of a sudden, things start going to hell and, I'm getting older. Now I'm at my senior year of high school and all of a sudden my mother has to go for an operation. And I have to graduate. So I'm graduating on a Sunday and we just got into a big fight. There was a situation. We got into a fight. She abandoned us. She took off on me and my brother and left us with a guy that she truly believes was psychotic, bipolar, and had issues. She left us there with him. And then she flipped the script and told me a year later, she's like, the only reason why I stayed with him for 20 years was because of you. Thank you for making me feel so complete by telling me that you lived with this maniac for 20 years just to keep us happy. Did you ever once look at us and ask us if we were happy? Did you ever look at the broken glass on the floor? Did you look at the shattered things on the ground? Did you look at the smashed plant that almost hit me in the back of the head? Or the remote controls or the bottles of soda that hit me over and over and over again? Did you look at it? Did you ever ask if it would have been a good idea for you to just grab your kids and bring them to safety?
Why?
No, you took yourself and you brought yourself to safety. And then you went and you did what you had to go do to make yourself better. You're living a good life now. God bless you. But I'm struggling every day. You know what I get? When I'm struggling every day? You're the strong one. You've always been the strong one. Maybe I'm not the strong one. Well, if I'm the strong one, why am I the one that has to go see a counselor? If I'm the strong one, why am I taking 9 pills every morning? If I'm the strong one, why am I taking pills for depression and bipolar disorder and anxiety? If I'm the strong one, you don't even know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know anything about my kids. You don't know anything about my grandkids. All you know is what you see posted on Facebook because you don't visit. You don't spend time with us. You don't take initiative to spend time with us. And the deal is, this part always gets me. This happened with my grandfather. My grandfather never bothered me my entire life. Okay, to me, I always felt like we were a straight up burden to him. Like every once in a while, he would be like, "Okay, I'm gonna pick you guys up." Me and my uncle pick you guys up, and he'd go and pick us up, and he'd plop us in front of the TV. He'd go get us some food, And then we'd sit there and watch the Creature double feature. Or we watch Siskel and Ebert. Or we watch whatever on the TV, and he would leave. He would leave us there. Now, my uncle is like 3 years older than me. Okay, it's a little weird, I understand. That always confuses everybody that my uncle's like 3-4 years older than me. That's the only age gap between me and him. And so he would pick us up, and he would sit us in front of the TV, and he'd leave. Okay? And then, once he got older, and everybody died on him, and his girlfriends all died. He had multiple girlfriends, okay? My grandfather had such an issue, okay? He, at one point, okay, and all of this, I promise you, is true. This is an eye-opener for everybody, and I want you to absorb all of this, okay? He picked me up one time when I had my first daughter, and he's like, I'm going to take you out for some coffee, and we're going to go get some pastries from the bakery. So we're getting a car, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm in. I'm in. My brother was dating some girl at the time, whatever. I was very close to my brother at the time. Now me and my brother don't even talk. But I'm like, I'm in. Yeah, we'll go for a ride. So we're driving up the street, and he tells me, he goes, open up the glove compartment. I'm like, okay. I open up the glove compartment. Inside the glove compartment, this man had multiple. I mean, I'm talking at least 20 plus pictures of half naked, if not naked, old women. Now, I was like, I wasn't younger. I was 19, 20, but I mean, you're with your grandfather. This is a little bit of a shocker. You know what I mean? This is a little bit of a, and he tells me, he goes, reach underneath your seat. So I reach underneath the seat, and he's got a bottle of, I don't want to miss whatever it was. I don't know if it was vodka. I don't know if it was rum. I don't know. I don't know what it was. A bottle of some kind of alcohol. And he's like, oh, what I do is I go to the old folks' homes, and I pick up these old ladies. They let me take them out, and then I bring them down to this area, and I get them drunk, and then I bring them to a hotel, and I photograph them. And I'm like, that's not even normal, man. That's I'm thinking, even at that age, I'm like maybe 19 years old, 20 years old, whatever. And at that age, I'm like, man, that's just wrong. This is all kinds of wrong going on there. It's all kinds of wrong. And as people started passing away in his life, his girlfriend, well, yeah, he had a girlfriend too. She passed away. And after she passed away, he wanted to start spending time with my family. And he started pulling a straight on nutty. I mean, one day we're having a birthday party for my daughter, and I get a phone call, and at the time we had answer machines. This was a regular home phone. We got an answer machine, and he's on the phone. He's like, pick up the phone. I know you're there. If you don't pick up the phone, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill. And he's yelling into the answer machine how if we don't interact with him, we don't pick up that phone, and we don't talk. I know you're there. He didn't know we were there. He didn't know. He reached a point in his life where he looked back at his life and realized he had nobody. Now, I got to tell you, I don't want to go out like that. I don't want to go out not having nobody, okay? You choose your path. You choose what you want to do with your life. You choose how you treat people and how you don't treat people. Don't think that you're going to treat people like garbage for years and years and years, and then right when you're on your deathbed, you're going to come up to them and say, listen, now I want you to be there for me. Now I want you to be my best friend. Now I want to spend time with you. Now I want to get to know you. After ignoring you for 25, 30 years, now I want to be your best friend. It doesn't work that way. People have feelings. People have emotions. You can't just open a person up like a book and read a couple pages and shut the book and put the book away and pick it up a month later. No, sometimes the person needs something too. Now, for a while, I would contact my mother. And she wouldn't answer the phone. So I gave up. Okay, that's why I just gave up. And I found out she wasn't answering the phone because she always thought I wanted money. Her thing was, I didn't want to answer the phone because I was afraid you were going to ask me for money. Now, let me make this very clear. I've never personally ever asked my mother for any money. Maybe when I was a kid, maybe when we were living together. But if we had any financial difficulties, if my wife ever asked her for money, that had nothing to do with me. Okay, that was my wife trying to figure out the bills and doing whatever. If I found out about it, it was after the fact. And then my wife got a scolding for don't take nothing from any of my family members. Don't take it because you'll hear about it for the rest of your life. They're that type of people. They just hold on to it forever. And when they get a chance to give you the jabbing, they just jab you with it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, remember that time that you needed $300 because your car was broken down, and I gave you the $300, and I said forget about it. Remember I did that? Yeah, but I'm not forgetting about it because you're reminding me of it. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of stuff. If you're gonna do something for somebody out of the kindness of your heart, just do it. Just do it and shut up and forget about it. I give my kids money all the time. I'll just send my kids, Venmo my kids money just because. I mean, I'd be like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Are you a little short of cash? What's going on right now? Is there a situation? My wife, every day I send her money. You know, here you go. Make sure you have money for coffee. Make sure. I'm not calling them up and say, hey, remember that? Remember that day 16 years ago or 12 years ago or a month ago, whatever, that I gave you money for coffee? Listen, use the handbook of what not to do. So my mother's like, oh, well, you know, he doesn't reach out to me and he doesn't call me. He's mad at me. He's holding a grudge. I'm not mad. It's just certain people that are triggers to me. And when I see certain people, it just messes me up. And it's better for me to be like, okay, I don't hate you. Just, I can't be next to you because it messes me up. It mentally breaks me down. I picture my entire childhood. I picture you not coming to my defense. I picture you taking off. I picture you not being there at my graduation and then telling me that you had to go for surgery on a Sunday. Okay, my graduation was on a Sunday. The funny thing about when I graduated from high school. Okay, and this is I'm gonna open right up for you. This was my graduation from high school. My mother didn't show up. She wasn't there. Never went. Told me some story about why she wasn't there. To this day, I still don't believe it. Okay, but that's okay. I've let that all go. My father and brother showed up, but didn't tell me they were going. I had no idea that they were going to be there. Nobody else from my family went. Nobody. There wasn't one other family member that went to my graduation. And then the day of my graduation, I leave my graduation, and my girlfriend at the time was graduating from another school. I go to her house, and she's sitting on a porch with some guy. And so this is my graduation day. This is what I remember my graduation being. Okay, so all my kids that complain about, hey, listen, you don't know the troubles I had, man, because I graduated during the pandemic, and we couldn't even go have a regular graduation, and we had a parade instead of being able to have the regular graduation, and then we had another party instead of having another graduation. Listen to me. You had a lot more than what I had for my graduation, because what my graduation consisted of is walking across a stage, looking out for people that might care about me, seeing nobody, going to see the only other person I thought cared about me, finding her with another guy, and then going home and chugging a bottle of Tylenol. That's what my graduation consisted of. And then my father coming home and racing me to the ER so I can get my stomach pumped, and then they can give me a tuna fish sandwich. That's what I remember my graduation being. And that's because my mom walked out the door and decided that she wanted to make her life better. She wanted to make her life better. And then she wants to look at me and say, oh, well, I don't understand. I don't understand why he hates me so much. I don't hate nobody. But there's problems. There was a problem there. And if you believe anything different than what I just said, it's crazy. Okay? And then I will tell you, my grandfather, we cut ties with him because he kept calling the house and harassing us and yelling at us and threatening us. He kept telling me, oh, if I only, that was his thing. Oh, and he would literally call me up and be like, oh, if I only had a bullet and a gun, I would be so happy. I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't want to hear any of that. So that's it. We're done. That's it. Cut off or whatever. And then I don't know how many months it was, years or whatever. Maybe about a year later. Now he's dying. Okay, and my wife's in the hospital, and my wife tells me, hey, I'm standing there, and this is when I'm going through my spiritual moments in life where I'm like very on the right path, and she's like, oh, you should go upstairs and go talk to your grandfather. You haven't talked to him in a while, and I'm like, And I went up there, and what I witnessed? I'll tell you what I witnessed. I witnessed a person that did not know where the heck they were going. Okay, no idea, screaming for heaven or hell. Okay, that's what I saw. Somebody screaming for heaven or hell. I saw somebody. Matter of fact, I'll never get the vision out of my head because the man was bare ass. Okay, he's no clothes, hanging on to the rail of the bed, and just screaming for dead family members, screaming for God, screaming for Satan, screaming for everything. Okay, he was screaming for whatever was about to grab him. He was screaming for. Okay, and which made me evaluate a little bit about myself. This is not good. This is not a good thing. And you would think that other people would recognize that and be like, hey, you know what? I'm messing up. I'm messing up here and there, and I need to straighten things out. But they don't. They don't. They look at it like they just rationalize things and put it in their head that everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything I did in my life was perfect. Hey, listen, I walked and picked you up from school once. We bought you a bicycle. We went and did this. We went and did that. It doesn't make up for all of the mess, to all of the whatever, the abandonment and molestation and rape and whatever. It doesn't make up for any of it. And you're going to stand there and say, well, let me contact all of the people that you love and make you look like the bad guy. That's what I get. I get the let me contact everybody that you love and make you look like the bad guy. I just don't get it. I don't get it, and I probably never will. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of those posts lately that say, don't hate people, just love them from afar, and that's how I live my life. I prefer it to go by my Bible and not hate somebody, but stay away from me. Just keep your distance. Just I love you from afar. Okay, listen, you can die with your mind rested, realizing that I'm not mad at you, and I'm not attacking you, and I'm not saying it. I'm not calling you up and reminding you. Yet you'll call me up and remind me of all the miserable things that I don't want to remember. Okay, I don't want to remember. Okay, my birthday is one of the biggest ones. I make it very clear every year. I don't want to hear how old I am. I don't want to hear happy birthday. I don't want to hear these things from people. My kids understand. My wife understands. But then I got the one visit a year or even not the one. I'll get the phone call, whatever it is. And guess how old you are. How's it feel to be this much older? How's it feel? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Yes, I'm 1 year close. To quote Pink Floyd, I'm 1 year closer to death. Thank you very much for rehashing that in my mind. I appreciate you. Now please leave. Okay, that's it. So yeah, this was supposed to be a short video, but I saw a post this morning when I opened up my Facebook, and it was like, there's just some people in your life that you just gotta love from afar. You keep them at a distance, and it kind of, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it's been sticking in my mind all day long, and I'm like, you know what? I used to say this all the time, and I guess this is the truth. There's just some people out there that are just trying to mess you up. Okay, their job in life is to try to find a way to totally mess up your life. They want to totally corrupt your mind, and not only do they want to corrupt your mind, they want to make you. They are so convinced in the things that they've done in their life. They're so convinced that these things happen. They truly have talked themselves into believing this fictional world of butterflies and bubble gum and cotton candy that they want you and the rest of your family to believe that you're the crazy one and you live this wonderful privileged life. Well, I'll tell you right now, my Corvette's not parked outside. Okay, I'm not living in a mansion, and I probably been wearing the same jeans for 3 days. Okay, it's all a facade. It's all fake. It's all make believe. It's all la la land. It's not real. It's fake. Okay, so don't believe it. And just if you got somebody in your life like that, just love them from afar. Tell them to go take a walk somewhere and love them from afar. I can't find a razor knife today. I looked. So I'm just gonna tear these things open and we're gonna go on with that. I prefer the razor knife or something like that. But I'm going to tear them open. So with that said, my friends, listen, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Help me out. Okay, that's what I got to say. Let me go with, I'm going to go with the deep discount here. Deep discount, if you don't know what it is a company, kind of like an Amazon for Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs, CDs, and media and toys. They got toys there too. Yeah, deep discount's pretty good, and they have coupon codes and all kinds of other stuff. So you can, and they're pretty reliable. Unless you're trying to get stuff that's overseas stuff, like import stuff. Sometimes the import stuff they put it on their website and then they don't get it in stock. And I've never had any problem getting my money back from them. So if anything ever does go wrong, the only thing that kind of sucks is that sometimes you pass up 101 different cheaper purchases on eBay or Amazon or whatever because you're waiting for that item, the box set or whatever it is that you order from Deep Discount, and then all of a sudden you get a message from Deep Discount saying, "Oh, sorry, we don't have it in stock," or "It's not coming in stock," or we apologize or whatever. But this did actually come in, and I wasn't gonna get this at first, but then I went plum. Wow, this better be region whatever, suitable for persons supplied. It doesn't say the regional code on this thing, so I'm gonna have to check this thing out, make sure that it should be region free. It's the Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, the motion picture little box set. Now I have this two different ways. I have the CD set, I have the Blu-ray set. No, I have the DVD set, the CD set, and then they released this thing, which this thing has the Blu-ray, the CD1, and the CD2 all in one new package. It's supposedly remastered, 50th anniversary edition. So I wanted to add that to my thing there. Whoever's coming out of the bathroom, you can just get out of the bathroom and go in the living room or whatever, because you're just throwing off my vibe. I don't know what that was. I don't even know who would be home at this time. But yeah, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Excellent David Bowie concert. Probably one of his best. I would throw out there. I actually really enjoyed the new one though. The one that he did. All my David Bowie stuff's over there, so I'm not even gonna remember what it was. But it wasn't David live. It was a newer live concert that he did, and he did all the hits. You know, I'm Afraid of Americans and all of that good stuff. And sound quality was excellent, and the concert was excellent. But this is some old school David Bowie, and this does come in this one little case. Now, I will tell you, I don't know what they're doing lately with these little cheesy cardboard cases here. I was trying to see if I had my other ones that I just replaced, because I did have a little issue not too long ago with my Queen sets like this, and it's these cardboard cases there. But this actually looks like it's in halfway decent shape, and it's not shaking around, so I'm happy with that. And then we have the other package from Southern Fried Media from Helen Gah, and like I said, I'm opening it old school here because I can't find my knife. And it is, now here's a little slice of my childhood, and this is probably sums up the whole sad situation here. This was a made for TV movie that I believe aired for like 2 nights straight, and it came out in, let's see here, please give me a year. That would make me a very happy little boy. 185 minutes, not rated, because it's a TV series, and you're not going to give me a year. Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that? Because that would force me to reach over here and then ask my hold on, let me see. Okay. 1989 is when this came out, and I was just hunting under my archives collection thing under my on my eBay, on my eBay, and it just popped up, and this is a DVD. So yes, I'm kind of going back in time. I'm going back in time. Like everybody buying records nowadays, I guess I've gone back to buying DVDs, only because this was not available on Blu-ray. I highly doubt it's ever going to get a Blu-ray, and I have not seen it since probably 1989 when I first saw it on TV. And it is the TV movie called I Know My First Name is Steven. Now, you can comment below if you have ever seen this movie. This is a 2-disc set, archive collection, Warner Brothers archive collection. Story about this kid right here who he gets kidnapped. But there's another kid, this guy over here, he gets kidnapped prior. So what happens is he gets kidnapped. Am I messing this thing up? No, because that's the kid when he's older. Okay, so this is Steven when he gets kidnapped. Okay, he gets kidnapped by this guy, and the guy tells him all these horrific stories and this, that, and the other thing to keep him from trying to run away from home. Changes his name, and the kid kind of, as he grows up, he kind of forgets who he is, you know, but he's being taken care of by this sick human being. And what happens is years later, he keeps this kid for a lot of years. So the kid ends up being a teenager and stuff, and the guy decides that he wants to go get another kid. So Steven, knowing that what the other kid's about to go through, the abuse and a lot of abuse, a lot of crazy. If you've never seen this movie, it was a made-for-TV movie, but it gives you enough information to know that what this kidnapper was doing to this child was definitely not a good thing. And so the other kid helps the new kid that gets kidnapped to escape, and by helping him escape, he gets found. I'm giving away the whole movie. And then of course there's a trial, and so I mean I don't think I'm giving away too much, but I remember seeing this in 1989. It ran for, I believe, a couple days, and I haven't seen it in years. And when I first saw the picture on the cover, I was like, I could go for a good drama movie that I remember as a child. And what better to end this video by a movie about an abused, messed up kid that went through a lot in his life, because that's kind of how I feel. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you could please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, help me with that algorithm. If you stood here this long, bless you. Okay, I've been sitting here for a while. Okay, I was supposed to make a 14-minute video. I'm probably making a 40-minute video. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much, and I will see you later.
You should have saved me some.